wasn't going to say this, but when I Googled, I saw this again last night on HLN, forensic. I wasn't going to put this down. I Googled to make, I'd heard it before and I knew it was one of the mind control murders. But so you can link it, it's easy to link. I just put the first tape up. When I Googled it, to make sure I had the names correct that were killed and who did it, with antifreeze, by the way, it said this, behind the blue wall. So that's what I'm going to put the first tape up in this one, so you can connect them. And I've got a lot on YouTube. Now then, I wrote about mind control, and I'm not going to get into my kidnapping and all that, but the mind control murders started a long time ago, but they were being done in patterns, and I did not know the mechanism used until I worked for, I'd worked for doctors most of my life, and I worked for Forsyth, who was cardiovascular, and, okay, Kuchar, Bob Kuchar, and McCoy, John McCoy. I worked for them, bookkeeping and receptionist and secretary. Well, yeah, okay, let me just leave it at that. It was later that I worked for, while I was doing the book, I worked for Dixon Produce. And I was actually shown and told it was insurance forms that her husband's name was Russell. She was a bookkeeper. I can't remember her last name. But I saw insurance forms. He was murdered using mind control. Mind control is programming. You can put a chip in your root canal. They don't even need that now, but that's what they were doing back in 75, 70, put it inside you. And that's the reason I'm talking about Dr. Forsyth. And I put this up and said it for a long, long time. By the way, I had liked him then. And I'm not sure he's, all these other people that have stood by and tried to kill me, the messenger, are the ones that allowed it to happen. But he actually put a stent or a chip in a heart bypass. And this is being done back then. You don't need it now. Talk about NSA and Snowden, Edward Snowden, who should be a hero to everybody. That's just the tip of the iceberg. They can pull it up and do a mind control on you, and you never knew you had it done to you. And if you did, you go to a doctor, and they'll say you're crazy. That's what they're doing with the Aurora, Colorado. All these, hey, these people, young fellows, don't just go nuts and go out Columbine, Sandy Hook. This, I had to come up here because I was actually put on the side of the road, really, after the antifreeze was put in April Fool Day of '80, and of course, in my apartment taken and all that. This is Fort Hood shooter. He was, there's more to the patterns, but he was a psychiatrist, actually, and he finished college at Blacksburg, next door to Roanoke, where I'm at, Virginia Tech, and he was born here in Vinton, Roanoke. That's where the mass shootings at Virginia Tech happened on April the 16th of '07. So I could keep going on here, but the point I wanted to make was Larry Flint was shot while I was doing the book at Moonraker. And the book was MD, A License to Kill, about Larry McDonald, congressman, urologist from Piedmont Hospital in Atlanta. And I was living in Marietta, and that's where Marietta, Smyrna, I had lived in. And so much happened to me. But this is just where, when Larry McDonald's plane went down. By the way, you can take a plane down that way, too. Just put them in. It's not funny. It's not funny what's been allowed to happen to me and my family and country either. Let me tell you, I try to laugh or something to get through the hell, and you try to tell people, and they know it, and they just want me dead. They're not immune to it. I guess they think that they're immune to it. But anyway, I was flown to Larry Flint's, and he endorsed me. He even said I knew who was responsible for his shooting. He's even listed Larry McDonald here, March the 6th. And it was '07. And by the way, not '07, in '78. That was when the endorsement happened. By the way, well, before this goes out, excuse me, I'm got allergies. Let me just leave it at that. I had there's so much that I can't tell, and I wasn't against the Cobb County Police or any other police force, but I had antifreeze put in me after I had a letter from the U.S. Attorney's Office. The FBI was down there a lot, and had a letter from them, ongoing investigation, national security involved. And with all that, that was the letter was sent June the 23rd of '79. April Fool Day of '80, I had my apartment illegally taken by an ex-husband. I had antifreeze put in, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you who put the antifreeze or allowed the person to come in and do it was Lois Pearson, and she lived in Marietta, and I was spending a couple of nights with her. My ex-husband had suddenly, they just allowed him to put my apartment, my deposit in his name, and in essence, he kicked me out. And my kids were being terrorized, Mark and Scott. I mean, it was hideous. And I had gone to law enforcement, Cobb County. They'd put sabotaged my son Mark's car. All was happening. It was hideous over the years. The laws that had been broken. But anyway, what I wanted to get to, I said that I worked for Forsyth, Kuchar, and McCoy doctors, and Forsyth was cardiovascular, and that's when I started finding out that they put, you could put, this is way back then, you can put chips in heart bypasses, and a person can be programmed to look like they committed suicide when it's murder by mind control. They can even, since the Tesla files were stolen in '30, they use those. They can create an illness, cancer, you name it, and they can cure it. So this is what has been going on, and there's lists of them, and I've named them over the years. So really, you start thinking about it, you wouldn't need to go to a doctor anymore, would you? Or all the medical, and I'm going to leave it at that. What I wanted to say was I linked, over the years, they've deliberately put the mind control murders, the agency do it, in patterns, and it can be linked and put together so that you see it. Whether you want to accept it or not, it proves itself. Now, whether they do that, I don't know. But the Virginia Tech, as I said, the Columbine, the Sandy Hook, these are kids put under mind control, grown-ups. Now then, I'm going to do this because the tape's going to run out again, and giving background is what's so hard, and making people pay attention, I guess. The media won't touch it. So anyway, the one that just happened was the Cooper Harris and his father, Justin Ross Harris, and probably his mother will be charged. I don't know. But also I want to mention this, the Tucson, Arizona, with Congresswoman Gabby Gifford. Her husband's a twin, Mark Kelly, and he's an astronaut, and his twin brother Scott is an astronaut. That's Tucson, Arizona shootings. And, of course, they're all crazy, you know. They're using the mental health. Programming and mind control has nothing to do with mental illness. By the way, I haven't seen my sons. They were done in just like me. This is Mark and Scott and myself years ago. Obviously, I'm 75 years old. Now then, the Cooper Harris, you can just remember programming has been going on for a long, long time, and now then it's easy to do. But you could even Google and YouTube, and I'm on YouTube, by the way, for about a year and a half now. And this is running out again. I need a longer tape, I guess. I can't possibly get all this on. I'm going to turn it off here and try. I don't know if I do or not.